welcome today to our future of data integration, to our SaaS launch. We're very, very excited about that. Thank you very much for all the partners who've come. I can see there's several people there. It's very, very nice. We're really multinational today. I see people from South Africa, from the US, from Netherlands, from Germany. It's very, very nice to see. As you can tell, we're recording the session. Not that you can say anything bad, but just be aware of that as well when you're asking questions. If there is questions you want to ask to us directly at a later stage, you can do that as well directly to me or to Lucia, who would have reached out to you. And really also there is a Q&A button where you can actually ask your questions, and we will try and do all those questions at the end of the day today. So that's the housekeeping put aside. So let me really go and give you a little bit about who Data Virtuality is. A lot of you already know, but just for the ones who don't know so much, we're a company who's been around now for 11 years. We did 10 years last year. We got Leipzig, Munich, San Fran are kind of just some places we were located. We have more than 100 clients worldwide, and actually work with more than 20 different nationalities. So we're really kind of multinational, tiny company in that way, working with lots and lots of interesting clients. And I hope that our SaaS launch will really show you what the future of data integration holds for you. Today, I want to introduce Nick and Robert. Nick is the founder of Data Virtuality, so he's going to give you a little wave or a little smile. There we go. That's the one without the bookcase behind him. And he lives in Munich. He started to be as a technical founder about 11 years ago, and really saw that there was a gap in the market with integration methods belonging to different vendors. And it'd been very difficult to manage all the different types of integration. So you could choose to do ETL or you could choose to do DB, but you couldn't actually have one platform which combined all of these different integration methods. And really, he wanted that flexibility because he felt that saved time. And in that theme, we're really continuing as well with our SaaS launch going forward, and this flexibility for everybody to be able to focus on actually dealing with data and working with data instead of having to do the grind work behind it. So supporting all our clients. So that's Nick, and he'll be talking a little bit later. And we are very, very, very honored today to welcome Robert Eve to our panel today. He lives in San Francisco, so it's quite early for him in the San Francisco Bay Area. He's really the first person to have written a data virtualization book. He's also collaborated, this is for all the Netherlands people out there, with Rick Vanderlands on more recent publication. He's also done a blog, which I'll show and share a little bit later. And he really kind of worked in companies like Cisco, Composite, TIBCO, Oracle, and is a really well-known voice in the data integration arena. And that's me introducing. My name is Tammy Coles. I'll be your moderator for today. So please, Robert, take it away.
Thank you, Tammy. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to the Data Virtuality clients, prospects, partners today. I'm delighted to really talk about how to integrate data simpler and faster so you can deliver more value, and how to really do that by combining data virtualization with this newer software as a service platform model. What this is, we should really think about why do something different, why do something new in the first place. I think the opening question in everyone's mind should be, as your data is evolving, your data environment, your business evolves, etc., is your data integration a competitive advantage, or is it a hurdle that's preventing you from achieving your business success? And now it's time to do something new, something different. So my goal today is to help you answer 3 questions. First, what are the major forces driving change in the data integration landscape? So what things do you really need to be thinking about and considering? How to adapt your data integration infrastructure to respond to these forces, and then why Data Virtualization plus SaaS is a great approach and accelerator to delivery and success. Let's begin with these three forces. So many disruptions, political, economic, social. I mean, I'm glad 2022 is finally over. As we enter 2023, it's a great time to look ahead. What's new? What's different? What needs to change? The three primary forces transforming data integration today are: data is now an important competitive opportunity. You need to take advantage. Business has taken control of the data. IT is in a support role. We have to recognize that new reality. And data itself is moved. The gravity, the center of data is now in the cloud. We've lived for years with that on-premise world. And this 10-year trend of the cloud has been going along slowly and steadily. 2022 was a giant inversion point, and 2023 and going forward, it's just a rethinking that you have to do. Force one, data as a competitive opportunity. Before we could compete locally, now we compete globally. You know, we used to everybody had their own supply chain and distributors. Now everyone can share those same, has access to everything. Product life cycles before used to be long. Now they're very short, and products are no longer as sticky as they once were. One competitive opportunity remains, and that's driving business value from your data. In a Q3 2022 TDWI survey, respondents stated that the three most important business drivers behind their platform management and integration modernization were: first, better ability to observe and enhance customer experiences, increase operational efficiency, and generate new business strategies and methods. So let me take each of these in turn. Superior customer experiences. Will you be the organization that provides the best customer experiences? I mean, data helps you better understand your customers' engagement points, provide those compelling experiences, and motivate your customers to buy more. A 2022 Gartner survey stated that 84% of customer service and support employees cited data and analytics as very important or extremely important in achieving their organizational goals. Operational excellence. Will you compete by having the best business processes and out executing your competitors? Optimizing your operations, it requires a deep understanding of what's happening now, what happened before, and what's going to happen next. And having that real-time interaction so that you can change that outcome of what's going to happen next to something that's better. And IDC recently predicted that by 2024, 30% of industrial organizations will have become leaner and more agile than their competitors due to making those real-time operational insights available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. And finally, let's talk about game-changing innovation. Will you out-innovate your customers by bringing these compelling new products and services to market? Data can be the most crucial ingredient in your R&D toolkit. It informs your experiments, your project status, your trial results. Data can also add value to your offerings and influence which offers your customers choose. I know in my own personal life, I've just recently selected a new gym to go to. I thought about the equipment, the atmosphere, the instructors, needed all that. But the firm I went with provides metrics about my performance, my heart rate, my number of steps, how I'm improving. That data inside the offer was the difference maker for me. Perhaps it is for you too. So that's data as competitive opportunity. That's the first force. Second force is this new business IT dynamic where business takes the lead and IT enables. You see that in three ways. First, accelerated timelines. Simply put, business is no longer willing to wait for these long SDLCs, these long software development life cycles that deliver data, in a month or two. Instead, rapid response is the new baseline. IBM's 5 Trends for 2023 report. Uncertainty is expected, complexity is compounding, and the threats materialize on multiple fronts. Reducing time to insight is critical. Data on demand. Business now just expects IT to deliver the data they want, when they want it, how they want it. And with this new class of citizen data analysts, citizen data scientists, citizen data engineers, the business can take that data and really drive it to advantage. Again, TDWY survey from last year. Data democratization and increasing self-service functionality is part of every organization's modernization strategy. 75% strongly agreed, and only 5% said this data democratization, data on demand, was not important. Business funds the data. According to Gartner, 74% of technology purchases are funded at least partially by business units. And where's the money going? In their executive survey last year, Gartner asked respondents which technology areas would receive the most significant amount of new and additional funding in 2022 compared to 2021. 51% said business intelligence and data analytics where they were going to focus. The bottom line is your business wants you to invest more in data. Finally, the third force transforming things. Cloud, and more cloud. As I mentioned earlier, it's a 10-year trend, but 2022 was a turning point. According to IDC, for the first time, the cloud will surpass on-premises as the primary location for operational data at over 50% of the global 2000. So that's more than 50% of the new data at more than 50% of the global 2000. That's pretty transformational. SAP, the cloud business, bypassed the on-premises business last year for the first time. Snowflake grew for over 100% again last year. That was after 124 the year before and 174 the year before that. That's amazing growth. AWS, 34% growth last year, Azure 40%. Gartner says that the cloud's going to grow over 20% next year versus nearly 19% last year. That's, I think, something like $100 billion more. So how do you adapt your data integration infrastructure to respond to these forces? Because against these forces, your traditional data architecture, your traditional data infrastructure, your data integration, designed for your simpler, less competitive times, don't really stand a chance. I'm going to ask you, what do you think you need to change? And what would the impact be if you made those changes? I'm going to recommend you look at several areas. First, let's talk about agile data integration tools and methods. In today's landscape, victory goes to the swift. Agile tools provide that ability to quickly configure new data sets in hours or days and avoid that complex software development lifecycle that's traditionally associated with things like ETL and data warehousing. The research informatics team at Pfizer is an example. Their data virtualization implementation, and I wrote about them in my book, allows them to pull new data sets together in just a few hours, much faster than the traditional requirements. It would take maybe weeks or months. With this agility, they can now complete new product development more quickly and, excuse me, and get their products to market sooner. Kind of an important capability in the last couple of years when they teamed with BioNTech to develop the new COVID vaccine. Adaptable data architecture is another new capability people need to take advantage of. Because your business needs change, your architectural design patterns change. Is it data mesh, data fabric, whatever's in vogue this year? You will need to adapt your architecture to keep pace. With the more agile, adaptive architecture, you can deliver business value faster and drive greater business value from competitive opportunities and technology change. Now, let me spend one more second on adaptive architecture, because the key point I want to make about that combination. Decoupling is a key to an adaptive data architecture. Through decoupling, you can separate how you manage your data from how you consume it. As a result, you can manage each data in the way that's best, in a cloud data lake, on an edge device, in an on-premises warehouse, wherever it makes most sense for your users. And data virtualization enabled data lakehouses, data fabrics, data meshes are typical design patterns that embrace this distributed cloud and on-prem decoupled data topology. So that's why adaptive architecture is very important. And data virtualization can help you enable that. And I'll drill down into that in a moment. Business-friendly data views via governed self-service access. Data-enabled employees, business analysts, citizen data scientists, citizen data engineers, you name it. There's people throughout your organization that are going to drive your data-driven business success. We need to empower them. How? Well, there's three components. Business-friendly data views that help deliver that data in a business-relevant way, in something the business consumers understand, not the 5-digit German acronyms in the SAP tables. You need to give things simple names like customer number. So business-friendly data views, business-relevant way. That way, it's so much more easy to learn, get consistent business definitions, keeps everyone on the same page. Self-service data access democratizes your data for your business users so they can focus on applying data to the best business opportunities. But you'll also need governance and security to ensure that the right people get the right data, no more, no less, and that you comply with all the data-related regulations. That's an important factor. I don't want anyone going to jail. Cloud-native data integration platform that supports any kind of integration across your multiple data types. Doesn't it make sense if the data is shifting to the cloud, that we also move the data integration platform there as well? But that must support your broad and changing data integration mix, including virtualization, consolidation, replication, migration. All the shuns need to be supported. You've got to be able to do the cloud data and the on-premise data. And you need to be able to support your most demanding reliability, availability, scalability requirements. And if you do that, you can integrate data faster with greater flexibility. When you move data to the cloud, IT gets a benefit. Your data integration to the cloud in this kind of a SaaS type model, IT gets a benefit. It frees cycles that they would normally spend optimizing your instances, scaling up to greater loads, helps them, spending time resolving operational issues, etc. Unleashed from these operational challenges, they can spend more time helping you create agility. Now that we kind of understand how you need to evolve and some ways you can benefit, let's talk about how you use data virtualization delivered as a software as a service to overcome these forces and achieve your business objectives. Here are my 3 fast track accelerators. First, to get that agile and adaptive integration architecture capabilities, you need to adopt data virtualization. I've been evangelizing data virtualization since 2006. I've seen its impact at hundreds of organizations around the world. I cannot emphasize this recommendation enough. Metadata-driven data virtualization doesn't require you to move and consolidate data physically to integrate it. You can quickly build and change model within the middle layer to give the business user the exact data they need quickly. And on the agility point, Look for a data virtualization solution that's easy to use. Your hardcore data engineers may not care. They're used to difficult tools, but your citizen employees will love you if you could give them something that's easy for them to use, very simple point and click type interfaces, and they can modify existing data sets quickly to meet their specific needs. Data virtualization also lets you easily organize and adapt your architecture. But don't take my word for it. Next time you go to that Rick Vanderland's architecture session at TDWI Munich, he'll tell you. Next time you go and look at one of these data mesh or data fabric or data lakehouse reference architectures, look closely. I bet you'll find data virtualization inside. And call your colleagues, the ones who are already using data virtualization. I find that they're generally pretty happy to share their success stories. Next, back to the business-friendly data views. Fortunately for you, if you embrace data virtualization, you get nearly everything you need to deliver business-friendly data views and governed self-service data access. It ties to the built-in semantic layer that populates this governed catalog of business-friendly views. When your business users need new data sets, they can find them. And if the perfect data set doesn't exist, with those latest point and click interfaces, the assistant data users can build what they want, often without IT assistance. The result is your business people can focus on delivering more business value. Accelerator number 3, to address this cloud integration. It really is time to start migrating your data integration capabilities, including data virtualization, to the cloud. I've shared all the research that talks about data's gravitational center shifting to the cloud. I also highlighted some of the cloud's operational benefits in terms of taking burden away from IT in the operation and scale out and ongoing processing. But buyers beware. Be sure you're setting up a complete SaaS solution that not only resides in the cloud, yeah, the license is in the cloud or it operates in the cloud, but it's also your vendor is actually doing the work for you, the operational work for you. So you don't have to set it up. You don't have to run it. You don't have to manage it. You don't have to upgrade it. Take all that time to turn data integration into your competitive advantage and remove it as a hurdle to your business success. Thank you for your time this morning. I hope the information I provided will be valuable to you as you plan for 2023. If you'd like to follow up with me directly, just reach out via LinkedIn. Back to you, Tammy.
Thank you very much, Robert. That was amazing. Don't know if how many people know about the 75% of data democratization is important for businesses, and only 5 said it's not interested. I didn't know that. That's a really nice fact, and the fact that easily found data is a real big plus. And that brings me also to 2 things. If you see, I've shared Rob's blog on the chat, and I will also share his LinkedIn. So if you want to connect with him, he's open to kind of talk to data enthusiasts like himself. And last but not least, after we've looked at this data democratization, we have a quick poll for you. So the poll we have, Sue, there we go. What is the most important data integration objective in 2023? Please choose one single choice, and we'll give you about a minute. So if you need to go desperately somewhere, then now is the minute. And in 4:29, I'll come back and just read that through for everybody. And that gives Nick a little bit of time to prepare.
I know how I'd answer, but it says hosts and panelists can't vote.
Well, maybe we'll see what the result is after this. And then once we see what the result is, maybe then you can share with us what you were going to be voting as. So there we go. I'm interested what Nick would say as well. Okay, so Rob, tell us what you would have said, and Nick, tell us what you were going to say. Well,
obviously I'm in the all of the above camp, which seems to be very popular this morning or this afternoon.
Nick, what about you?
Same here. Same here. Yes.
Yeah, very good. So
it's interesting though how probably the Agile has been around longer, And then as the rise of catalogs and citizen people, because that's maturing, but the cloud piece is starting to become more and more important as the data gravities move. So I think that probably timing, there's certain maturity model there as well.
Yeah, I think so. So thank you very much, Sue, for doing that and doing the poll. So now we know why to change, but we need to find out how to change. And Nick's going to go into the nitty gritty. Do you like my little thing there? And he's focusing on saving us headaches, being able to easily integrate data, make it easy for any data citizen to access data, and due to that, accelerate data delivery. So Nick, please take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Tammy. Thank you very much, Bob. And hello, everybody. So I actually cannot tell you how much very excited I am to show you our Data Virtuality Platform SaaS today. So I believe that this new Data Virtualization SaaS offering is a major transition. So it marks a major transition in the data integration market, of course, specifically also in the data virtualization market. So one thing it does, it uses a business-friendly UI and business data shop to open data virtualization to that exploding class of citizen data experts, so vital within your organizations today. It also deploys a full software as a service model that removes nearly all of the operational challenges which typically are associated with setting up, running, maintaining, upgrading data integration middleware. The result, as I hope you will see from the demonstration, is a leap ahead in our customers' ability to deliver greater data value, to deliver it in a more simple way and also much quicker. And I do hope that you are ready to take a look. So great, let's get started.
It's my drum roll for you.
So as elaborated by Bob, we are convinced that data integration vendors need and should support data teams so that they can focus on turning data integration to their competitive advantage. This is why we decided to offer a full data virtualization SaaS solution without installation, without server management, without maintenance, and with no manual updates. So let me show you how it looks in the reality. So first of all, it's all in web, it's all SaaS. You can sign up online, obviously in your browser. And once you are signed up, then you can also sign in online and you have your software running. And of course, if you need any support along the way, if you need somebody to help you around, and which is also an important part of SaaS, there is somebody here for you, which you can address if you have any questions. And of course, also as a part of software as a service, you are not alone with the software. There is somebody on our side watching after the software, monitoring what's happening, and making sure that your software is running and bringing value for you. And once we are in the software, let's also go and take a look first at what the business users get. What the business users get is a business user-friendly business data shop, which is a data portal which provides easy access for business users to their data, to the governed data, I have to say. So this is, of course, also managed by permissions, masking, and so on and so on and so on. So this is a central location, central data platform for your users to discover things, to consume them in different ways, be it CSV, Excel. One of the first questions I get from customers sometimes is, can we disable Excel? And the answer is yes, we can also disable Excel, but sometimes it's useful. Of course, things like Tableau, Power BI, different data science tools. You can also consume this as a web service. I have to say here that it's not necessary to go through a data shop. You can also connect all those tools directly to data virtuality via different interfaces like traditional ODBC, JDBC, and so on. But this web interface gives you users a better and more user-friendly way to consume data, but also, for example, to see where they come from, which is shown in the data lineage view. So again, this is all about bringing the data nearer to your business users and making sure that they're capable of getting most value out of this data. Another thing I wanted to highlight is that, of course, cloud data integration platform should provide all types of connectivity. And here, of course, Data Virtuality brings along more than 200 ready connectors. And of course, especially the cloud-based connectors, they are something which you can directly connect online with just one click, wherever the provider supports it. But also for the cases where you have on-premise data, we also don't leave you alone with your data sources. The easiest way to connect available directly from the web interface is connecting via SSH, but also we support other ways of connecting. And to discuss this, you can also contact our support colleagues so that they can show you around and tell you about all the different ways and help you connect. And finally, our data virtualization engine also provides the agility to generate value from the data faster. So for example, various wizards enable your customer, your citizen data integrators, your citizen data engineers to create data models very easy with different wizards for creating, for example, different types of joins in the relational space, or converting things like calls to web interfaces, or things like, for example, semi-structured data, for example, coming from S3 with Excel, or different other formats with CSV, JSON, and so on. So you can create all of these, you can consume all of this as models, and then the next step, you can also publish this in the data shop so that your business users can use this. But not only publish, Bob also mentioned that moving data to cloud becomes important. It's not always necessary to move the data, but sometimes it makes sense to move the data in the cloud. And also here, Data Virtuality is helping you, so we can support you moving the data to the cloud by means of replication or materialization. So you can, for example, keep your historical data in the cloud in different storages. You can also do data cleansing on this data, and so on and so on and so on. So you are probably noticing I could go about the different features of Data Virtuality SaaS platform for ages, but my colleague specifically told me to cut up on time, so I only was able to show you some highlights today, and for the time being, let's maybe do a short recap of the offering. So what Data Virtuality is offering to you. We are offering full SaaS implementation that will save you time, headaches, and money. We offer business-friendly UI and business data shop that empowers your business teams, that empowers your different domains if you are talking data mesh. We offer you also powerful data integration platform on the technical side behind the scenes, so that you can use different things which Data Virtuality provides, different features to meet all your data integration needs. And we provide a lot more different time to solution accelerators so that you and your teams can deliver value faster. So I hope by now you can see yourself why myself and my team at Data Virtuality, why we believe that this release is a giant leap forward. And for those of you who want to learn more, please feel free to reach to Tammy to see a full demo, or alternatively, you can just jump into the platform, and I will share the link later on in the chat, and the link will also be available on our website today to sign up and to see for yourself. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Nick. That's really great. I actually have shared the link already in the chat for everybody, but obviously if people don't want to look at it right now, later they can very happily reach out to us and kind of go. Having said that, first and foremost, before we carry on, we have our second poll for today. So Sue, maybe we can go and ask the question for the second poll. I think most people have done. And the Q&A should be like at the bottom of your screen, and there should be a Q&A option to ask the questions if you want. Oh, wow, that's a bit more evenly pulled together. Data virtualization technology in general is almost the highest, but data virtualization offered as SaaS. We would hope so, because that's what you came for today. So I'm happy that that's the highest percentage there. And the business data shop's really interesting. Web interface and connectors. Ah, very, very interesting. Thank you so much for taking part in the poll. So I suppose one of the questions was, if it was already available today, but we've already answered that and you already have the link. I can see that I have one little question there. So I have the question is, how is the separation between customers organized securely in the cloud? Nick, I think this one goes to you. And this is from Frank. Hi, Frank.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Frank. Absolutely. So the cloud separation is done in such a way that there are. So let me maybe start the other way. So the traditional way of thinking about SaaS is that it runs the different customers are running on shared resources, that they share at least partially some parts of the resources, be it computing resources or storage and so on. And for us, for this for our offering, we decided that this should not be the way we go. That means the customers are separated physically. They're obviously running in the same cloud, but they have different isolated environments from each other, so that we ensure that that there is no any kind of interference, even potential, between different customer environments of different customers. Yeah.
Good to know.
And we also plan, I mean, we also have a lot of questions if we plan to change it and make it a combined environment. And as of now, we are not planning, and I think we will stick to this decision going forward, because so far this has been important for all of the customers who asked.
Okay, thank you very, very much for the question.
So Nick, I have a follow-up question with respect to that. You talk about the partitioning of the different instances for each customer as an advantage, maybe from a security and control point of view. Wouldn't that also be an advantage to, since you guys are going to help with all the operational and support and scaling kind of thing, wouldn't that also be an advantage to have that separation so that you could really fine-tune the support of each customer?
Do you mean separation? Can you maybe rephrase?
If you said each customer's environment is separated.
Yep.
And that's a benefit because you kind of have a security in between customers. But isn't it also a benefit that you can, since you're supporting these customers in their operations, you can really focus your support to that specific customer's need. Customer A might need more scale at this moment, and customer B might need is doing a refresh or something. So you can really support each customer in a very optimized and unique to meet their unique needs.
Yeah, this is a very good question. So indeed, the support systems and the monitoring systems are centralized. So basically all the information about the performance, the health of all the customer resources is centralized, but we can operate on the environment of each customer separately. So there is no, basically, if our person needs to change something or needs to log in and look together with a customer, this is a separate login. That's a separate operation. So this is not a part of central operation. So gathering the information is centralized, about performance and so on, but really working on the customer environment is separate for each customer.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm just going to go for one question which we prepared, which is, will you discontinue offering your on-premise version? Goes to Nick.
Yes, absolutely. So we continue being committed to our on-premise version. There is no expiration date on it because we realize that the domain we are operating in, the data domain, and also the customers we are working with may require high and highest levels of security, which can only be achieved by the customer. Like all those very special requirements can only be achieved on the customer side. So we will continue offering this as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. I think I just had a carry-on kind of question on it. Is it possible to migrate our current data virtuality environment easily to the SaaS version? And was one of the questions from our existing clients.
Yes, so the core, the data virtualization core behind the scenes is the same. So that means in most cases, it should be really easy to migrate. Let me not say in most cases, in many cases, it is easy to migrate from on-premise environment to SaaS environment. There are some things which need to be taken care of specifically. So one of those things is very obviously connection to the data sources, especially on-premise data sources. So this is something which may take time. So we support different ways of doing this, but still this is something to be discussed in detail and may take some time in implementing for each customer. And then there are some other things which you would probably expect from SaaS, which are handled differently. So, for example, access to file system basically needs to be handled differently. Running any kind of local scripts is something which also needs to be changed, needs to be handled differently. So there are just some examples. So we have a internal list of things, and this is also growing as we migrate our early access customers to SaaS. So in the case of each concrete customer, we are happy to discuss it based on our existing experience and give a tailored answer.
So we're getting a lot of questions now coming in. So I'm going to try and choose a couple of ones. I think one maybe which was interesting, which came from Sven Wilbert, is what hyperscalers is this solution running on, and can I integrate it in a hub spoke architecture under our own subscription? Is a question. So I'm not sure if that's an easy answer or not to do. I was a little bit so I don't know if you can help us on that, Nick.
Yeah, so right now the like technically speaking, the solution is based on a Docker environment, which is running on AWS T3 instances. We are right now in the process of changing this to Kubernetes. So we have internally a test cluster which works on Kubernetes, but for the launch we are just using T instances running on with Docker containers on them.
Okay. And Frank, you wrote a question which, can customers add connectors for users and roles? I think it was the question.
Yeah. This is one of the limitations at the launch. So external authentication is not yet supported in the SaaS environment. So this is something we'll be adding going forward. So right now it's only our internal authentication, so you can manage users and roles internally on Data Virtuality, but not yet connect them to something like Azure Active Directory.
Okay, thank you. And we have a couple of GDPR questions here, like several of them, like I think 3. So the question is data governance feature taken care of or not? Where is it located? There's about 3 or 4 questions. So I think we should still speak to it. Please don't forget, we just launched our SaaS. So there's many things planned for this year as well, where we're going ahead. But at this very moment in time where we are, we'll try to be as transparent as possible. Nick, can you maybe say 1 or 2 words to the GDPR side of things?
Yeah. So we have 2 environments. One of them is located in Germany, in Frankfurt, and the other one is located in the United States. Going forward, we plan to extend it to more locations and also to different clouds. Like Azure is certainly a totally runner-up on the feedback list of our customers. Yeah, but this is right now. This is Germany, which also means it runs under all the needed GDPR requirements. It's kind of the topic which sides with this is that we are also ISO 27001 certified, and obviously as German company we're also compliant with GDPR.
German GDPR, which is really quite strict.
Yeah.
So having said that, I think we're almost coming to the end. I think there's one little question, and I know that we haven't answered all questions. So you were all shy, and then you did all the questions in one go. So we're going to answer you. Then try to answer them in personal, and Lucia or me will kind of reach out. And so the last little question I've got for you is if I already have a data catalog, how would I work with that? Is one of the questions there.
I guess that's also for me.
Yes, I think, yeah, at the moment I have only questions for you, sorry.
Okay.
Unless Bob wants to say something towards it, then he's very welcome to do so, sorry.
No, I say Nick answer.
Yeah, okay, so let me do
There
it.
we go.
Let me do it. So our business data shop is a kind of data catalog itself. So it can contain different metadata. It can also present different metadata. It can exchange metadata with outside. What it does not provide at the moment is the ability to kind of provide workflows for people who are curating metadata. And here we're usually relying on cooperation with external metadata catalogs, where we support a number of them right now. And there are some specific connectors which work together with some providers of specific data catalogs, but there's also generic metadata API of Data Virtuality, which can be used to exchange data with more or less any enterprise data catalog out there, or any metadata catalog, I would say.